What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the second video on this mega super productivity Sunday. Yeah, I put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable, but let's just keep on going with the flow. I love doing accents. We're going to keep up with a lot more of those. When they come out, you're just going to get them. This is just what's going to happen. It's happening, everybody. Another episode of The Authentic Effect with Alexander AAA Experience. This video, we're going to talk about perception. We're going to talk about articulation. We're going to talk about misunderstandings. They tend to run in a similar crowd. And a lot of this has to do, it tends to source with perception. Perception is an individual trait. You know, we can have like-minded individuals. We can have concepts that make sense across the board to people. We can have people who, you know, run in the same circles and tend to agree on the same type of things, but the way they are receiving that information is all personal. It's all individually based. When we can really commit to that fact, we can understand that there's no real way to change somebody else's mind, to convince them of something unless they come to it through their own manner of perception. And the only way to do that is to articulate what it is we're trying to get across. And based off of the perception of whoever, whatever it is that we're trying to articulate our point to, that perception is going to delegate how we need to articulate. Because just because I say something that makes sense to me doesn't mean that the way that it makes sense to me is going to make sense to you in that same manner. I may have to tweak the articulation on that concept so that it fits your perception, because our perceptions may be different. We may have been raised differently. We may have had different role models, different influences in our lives that just led us to receive information and receive things differently. So when we get caught up in misunderstandings, it's usually because one party's perception did not interpret the articulation of the concept in the way it was intended. So it led to a misunderstanding. And unfortunately, a real common outcome of misunderstandings is both sides get defensive. Because for some reason, both sides get wrapped up in this battle of either I'm right, you're wrong, or I'm right, you're wrong, or both parties feel almost belittled, almost stupid because they weren't understood. Or they feel, in some of the worst cases, they feel better, they feel higher than the other person because they don't understand what I'm trying to tell you. All of this has to do with a simple tweak of changing the articulation. To know that one person has a different perception than I do, than that person does, than that person does. It's a really, really simple concept. All we have to do is get over ourselves and understand our way of thinking is not the only way of thinking. It simply works for us. So keep on that path. I'm not telling you to stay off that path. Stay on the path that works for you, but don't get wrapped up in misunderstandings. If you can't be understood, either change your articulation or go about your path. It's not about trying to convince each other of things. Your perception is your perception. Let theirs be theirs. They're going to take in what they need to take in through this life. I promise you. Whether they choose to acknowledge it or not, that simply makes the journey a little bit more comfortable, is the best way to put it. Not even easier. It's just more comfortable. Alright, y'all. That's going to be it today. Check your perceptions. Check your articulations. Fix up any misunderstandings you have going on right now. And we going to see you in the next video. Peace!